What is there to fit in with? You're here to fit in with your higher destiny. I'll tell you that right now. That is 100% true. Just own it. Just own it and watch what happens. Amazing things are going to happen. Nothing less than amazing things. So what I want to talk about right now is, when I get to the end of these videos, I always mention to contact me on my Twitter, J_S_Khalsa, KHALSA, just like the tag here. So, and I say contact me about my one-on-one coaching. So I think a lot of people don't have any idea what I do. So I thought it would be time to just kind of just lay it out. So as you probably gathered from these videos, I'm interested in addressing the most foundational layer that we can get to with language. And there are other techniques that go beyond that, but here on Periscope, I'm typically talking about the deepest issues, the deepest commonalities and principles, because when you go to the foundational layer, then the change that happens there is permanent and it's all pervading. Because a breakthrough in your consciousness means a permanent breakthrough in your thinking, in your beliefs, in your emotions, in your behavior, in your health, in your relationships, in your career, in your sex life, and in everything you can think of, in your relationship with your kids, in what you do for fun, and how much fun you have when you're trying to have fun. So I want to work on that level because otherwise I'm just bucketing water out of a sinking ship. I'm not patching the hole on the bottom of the boat. Does that make sense? So when I work with people, basically, obviously we talk about what's going on in your life right now. Where do you feel like you need a breakthrough? Where are you stuck? Because, obviously I can't help somebody who's doing just fine. If they don't need help, hey, good for them, right? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the whole idea, right? is to be okay. But if you feel like something's not okay, and most people do feel like there's just something not right. And that's fine. Step number one is, don't be ashamed of that, because it's better just to face up to those strange feelings of anxiety or unease that you have, or the sense of incompleteness, and say, it's my job to do something about this. I'm not getting any younger. The time is passing anyway. It may as well pass with me living purposefully and in totally alignment with my higher being, and making the most out of it, and having a great time doing it, and having a great time as you're working on yourself. We had this whole inside joke yesterday about quotation marks going in the wrong place. But be that as it may, you want the time to pass meaningfully. And you can work on yourself. There, I did it again. You can work on yourself and enjoy every moment of it. It doesn't have to be about punishing yourself and feeling inadequate. You can enjoy every step of the way. And that's the way I like to work with people. And when something's not right, when something's not fitting, or any time that you couldn't tell me straight that you are totally in touch with your purpose for being on earth, and every single day you wake up completely committed to that, then there's room for work to be done, because you deserve to be at that place. You absolutely deserve it. You can get there a lot faster than you think. And once you do, you'll only wish you started sooner. That's exactly how I feel. I feel, couldn't there have been some way that I could get here earlier? Not really. There couldn't really be any way. But now that is happening, oh my God, it's just like the world is just this blank canvas for me to paint on, and it's amazing. So how do we do that? Well, let me give you a little background about my training and sort of the methods that I bring to the table. So, like I said earlier in some earlier videos, I was introduced to Eastern philosophy and sort of spiritual philosophy almost about 18 to 20 years ago now. And I've just been all about it ever since. And back in 2007, I was exposed to the practices of yoga and meditation, and I've just been all about those ever since. And those systems, from India specifically, put me in touch with concepts like numerology. I learned about herbal medicine, Ayurveda, different body types, and how to take care of them, how to address actually deeply emotional and psychological issues through things as simple as diet, daily routine. Of course, I learned many techniques in meditation and yoga, and how to address, again, emotional, physical, mental, personality issues, even through things like yoga postures. When you understand how they relate to the consciousness, you can even use something as simple as what people look at as stretching and opening the body. You can open the mind with those things too. It goes beyond just teaching patience and being present. There are prescriptive measures you can use with yoga as well. And when I went into more of the business world, when I worked as a financial advisor the last 2.5 years, that's when I got very deep into the Western School of Personal Development. And actually that started around the same time I started yoga as well. I was introduced to, through my singing teacher, Norma, who I talked about in San Francisco. Very interesting. Thanks. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that, you guys are quiet right now, but I do appreciate the feedback. I'm never just talking to hear the sound of my own voice. I had to get over not liking the sound of my own voice when I did these videos. So believe me, this information is for you 100%. So I'm always talking around what I do, and I wanted to lay it out very concretely. So I learned about, things like law of attraction, manifestation, positive thinking, your subconscious hangups. I learned about that right around the same time that I learned about yoga and meditation and what we call the science of self-realization. The royal science of God realization, which is yoga and meditation. So, but then years later, when I got into working again as a financial planner and more in the business world and more in the world of sales and entrepreneurship, then I learned about people like Grant Cardone, Brian Tracy, even people like Zig Ziglar or let's say Tony Robbins. I'd never read Tony Robbins before that. I love Tony Robbins. There's a reason why he is who he is. And he's at the top of that world. Brendan Burchard, other names I could just list for days. But the point is, when I go into something, I go deep. I want to learn as much as I possibly can, as fast as I possibly can. And the fruit of all that time and effort is, I sort of always had the temperament of a teacher. I had to learn how to do public speaking, of course. I had to learn how to get less self-conscious. But I've always gravitated towards that. I've always, for example, volunteered at daycare centers. I've been a teacher's assistant in after-school programs, and I never miss an opportunity to speak in front of an audience. Even when I would rather be dead than be speaking, I would still go up there and speak. I took public speaking classes in college and so on. And when I started teaching meditation in 2009, I was teaching groups all the way from one-on-one students to intimate groups of anywhere from 3 to 10 to 20 people, and in some cases groups of several hundred people. Actually, some meditation retreats where I was teaching, where I'd be invited to teach anywhere from 2 to 3 to 400 people. And harnessing a group like that. Now, of course, people out there have spoken to thousands of people, but those were vastly formative experiences for me. And at this point in my life, I look around and I see different schools of teaching and mentorship and coaching. And what I found in my experience is that there are people who focus on holistic health. There are people who focus on motivation. There are people who call themselves life coaches or self-development coaches, and there are people who teach meditation and who teach yoga and who teach what I would call, in a very nice way, New Age spirituality. And what I found was that my path took me through all of those things, and the way that I learned them, the way that I implemented them, it brought me very much in touch with the fact that these things are all the same thing. They're all the same thing, and they're all complete in themselves, but they're all incomplete in the sense of they don't comprehensively address the things that these other systems address. So my technique, my method is it's all brought together in one place. So again, just giving you guys a picture of really what I do when I work with people is all of that comes to the table, and it's tailored to it's tailored to the preferences and the receptivity of course, whoever I'm working with. And the idea is meet you where you're at right now and then take you as high as you care to go. There's no ceiling on that. Sky's the limit. So I hope that gives some clarity on things. And hopefully if you've seen these videos, you understand that hopefully the vibe that you're getting from me is that that I'm walking the talk, and you've got to come see that for yourself. Don't take anyone's word for it. You've got to vibe out a teacher for yourself and see if that's someone that you feel like you can learn from. But that's the idea. Is obviously if you've been listening so far, there's some kind of vibe going on, and when we get hands on, it's all about goal setting, time management, your inner being, your habits that are going to promote, as I say, your blossoming into the fullest expression of your most authentic self for your benefit and for the benefit of society. Everything that's good for you individually is good for everybody. So we're going to bucket water out of the sinking ship at the same time that we patch the hole on the bottom, at the same time that we rechart a course for where you're really going. So that means that immediate time-sensitive issues, like projects you're working on right now, deep-seated emotional issues, and then your overall purpose in life, and then the habits that keep you in touch with that direction and keep you on course. So it's going to be a short broadcast for today because that's really what I wanted to lay out, and I'm happy I took the time to do so. And again, get in touch with me if you have questions. J_S_Khalsa, Khalsa. This coming Monday, we're going to start broadcasting live meditations in the evening. Every single evening, we're going to broadcast meditations. And tonight, I'm happy to announce, on a very different note, I'm actually going to be meeting up with a very good friend of mine, Eddie Zamora. And he's got a food blog, the Yum Yum Foodie, YUMFOODIE. And he's on Periscope. He's like a recognized public figure on Facebook. The guy's awesome. And him and I are going to be getting together. And he's got his sort of wine Wednesdays. And I've got a 33-year-old bottle of port wine that we're going to be opening. And, well, it's already opened about 2 months ago now. And he's never had it. And this shit's going to blow his mind. I can just tell you that right now. That's a promise. I'm going to blow Eddie's mind. That's my outcome. Thanks for the hearts. And but tune in for that. I'll be broadcasting that as well. He will be too. And that'll be obviously a very different side of it's a very different flavor from what I do here. But I think it's useful for you guys to see that as well. Hope you have fun with it. And that's really all for now, guys. But have a fantastic day. Looking forward to talking to you again in the near future. All right, guys. God bless. All the best. I love you.